Halftime Howie. I was at the opening game of Plain Edge West Hempstead. It was late in the game. I was broadcasting, and Coach Vinny Massey was doing the play-by-play. It was at Plain Edge High School against West Hempstead. With about 2 minutes to go in the game, West Hempstead was winning. I said, "Well, forget it. Estrangelo back to pass. Throws deep for Scaglione, the whole ball of wax. Touchdown, Plain Edge!" And they went wild at Plain Edge. It was a Friday night. And is it safe to say that after the game, you guys were just eating pizza at Papagallo's and Coke? Or you guys are having some beers and really partying? So, Joe, let's go back in time to your high school days. Because I think it starts with the culture of, you're on a football team, you're out with your buddies, your Friday night. What was that like? And isn't that the culture of the kids in high school partying and doing things like that? Because that's what kids do?
I thank you, Howie. That's what kids do. It seems like that's what kids do a lot more. Like, I feel like back then, I was kind of like one of the odd men out. You know what I mean? I was attracted to that lifestyle, though. There was plenty of kids doing the right thing, but again, it starts from in here. So I was intrigued by that lifestyle way before high school. It's just something that, like I said, I thought was cool. And it was all about living the life of a rock star. Like I said, I wanted the shortcuts for everything. I wanted to party hard, play hard, party hard. That was it. There was no work hard in between there. So it's kind of scary, though, because it seems like nowadays, the odd one out is the one going home, working hard on the field and going home and doing their schoolwork and paying attention to their goals and stuff like that. So I don't know, that game for me was a huge part of my life. My brother had come in from California. All my brother's friends who I looked up to were there. So that was huge. And
broadcast live on the radio?
Broadcast live on the radio, yeah. Threw the winning touchdown, kicked the winning extra point. But, it was all about me and the attention. You know what I mean? It was just another high. That's what it was. And I didn't want that high. I didn't want to lose that high. And that got me into a lot of trouble because that played a role my whole life. I never wanted to lose that high. If I felt like crap, I wanted to feel better. If I felt good, I wanted to feel better. And it's just scary. I don't know, man. It's scary. Like we're talking about youth and getting awareness out there, right? And that's why I think it's so important for us to get out there and talk to kids at a young age, middle school, high school, because you really don't know. It's a hard conversation to parents to have, and it's a hard place to come from understanding, because I say it all the time. My parents, my older brother, they have no idea. They think it's all about willpower, and I wouldn't want them to understand, because that would mean they'd be as sick as I am, and I don't wish that upon anybody. And I think it's so important because I don't know, I feel like in society as a whole, we're all about getting out of ourselves and instant gratification, getting something quickly. And that hard work and effort and really truly putting in 100% in everything you do, we've kind of lost sight of that as a society. And I think that plays a role, and that's why more kids, a higher percentage of kids are starting at such a young age. Heroin wasn't even around when I was in high school. We did other shit, but heroin wasn't around. And it's becoming more and more the norm nowadays. And I think that, they talked about it. It's scary. It's like a society thing. I don't think it's just about drugs and alcohol. I think it's about really paying attention to the kids growing up, really trying to help them figure out who they are, the things they like, aptitude testing, really understand at a deeper level, not just trying to push kids through the system and go to high school and go to college. And, no, don't work with your hands. I mean, I went to college. I got a scholarship to play football. I pissed that away. All my friends that got kicked out of high school and went to BOCES and learned to trade and learned how to work with their hands and develop things and work hard, they all had houses and families way before I did. And I think it's a testament to just lifestyle in society nowadays, how everybody's trying to get out of themselves, and I'm not blaming it on the parents, I'm just blaming it on a society as a whole. is we're constantly worried about the material things and the external sources, and just it's scary. You want to talk about bullying, drugs, alcohol. It's really scary because we're not helping kids actually develop and understand themselves at a deeper level and what they want out of life. So what do? We try and do? We try and get out of ourselves. We try and feel better. We try and look cool. We try and get approval. Approval is a huge part of this whole thing. And for me, I don't know. It started at a young age, looking up to certain people, and I don't blame it on anybody else because I always wanted to be a rebel. I had rebel envy. I always wanted to be a one percenter. I wanted to be good at sports. I wanted to date good-looking girls. I wanted to do bad things. I wanted to fight, and that's exactly what I got. So, I don't know. It's a pretty touchy subject for me. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to be an athlete all my life, but again, you could want to do something, but willing to put the hard work in and the effort, that's two totally different things. And I just think, I think everybody has to play their part in this thing. I think not only should we be going out to middle schools and high schools and talking to parents and families and making them understand, and have our parents talk to other parents and families of what they went through, but I think it's almost like a three-prong approach. I think we have to talk about the emotional and spiritual part, but also the psychological part and the scientific part behind it, and explain to parents that, listen, you could have 3 addicts that are born with that symptom or that thing in their head or that chemical imbalance, whatever you want to call it, but it's like opening Pandora's box. I don't think a lot of kids understand that sometimes you have something within inside you, and it's like having Pandora's box. It's if you take that first drug or first alcohol, you don't know what you could be releasing into the wild. And that's the scary part. We don't know, and we just have to get educated on it more and educate the youth and support them. So that's how I feel about it.
So